I believe a Big Dub would be helping everybody do a short video of what he thinks about the initial test shot. So,
Me? Let's do this. And we are back with another bonus Tuesday, pouring ourselves a nice bowl of ramen soup from Ramen Toy. I could go for soup as well. And according to Ace, we don't have to just eat ramen while we save up to get this bread car, this van, because it's going to be economical and affordable for those of us that like to collect 1/12 scale vehicles. So let's get into it. I am honored to have this. I saw the Ramen Toy team at Joe Fest last month, and we talked a long time, got to know each other even better. And that's the second time I met Ace. I met him at PowerCon in 2023, and then at Joe Fest. So it's always good to meet the people that you collect their work and you get to interact with in the community. And so much about what makes this hobby great is the community aspect of it. So getting to meet Ace and the full team at Ramen Toy there was quite a bit of fun. And they were generous enough to provide me with this test shot number 1 of the bread car. And we're going to do a little video here because this thing is going to be into your hands within the next 6 months. Sooner than that even, if you want. And so I thought I'd do an overview, a little preview, show you what this is. I've got some notes here that Ace told me, some of the things about it. He had a recent live stream as well where he covered some things about it. We'll be jumping in and out of a couple of those clips so that you're fully aware. But let's start going over it. So this is called the bread car. That's not a term that I'm familiar with here in the United States. I'm assuming that's because bread is delivered on vans like this in parts of Asia. I don't know. Ace, you can correct me if that's right or wrong. That's my understanding. But this is like a big conversion van. We would call this a conversion van here in the United, at least in my part of the United States. A big, it's not a minivan. It's a full-size big van, the type of vans that you rent when you are moving sometimes, or if you need to haul a lot of people somewhere or whatever. It's even bigger than like a 15-passenger van. I've always called this a conversion van. I don't know if that's the right term or not. There's going to be several configurations, as we all know. There are a lot of famous vans that have been in various forms of pop culture over the years. And so with this, you can create and play however you want with whatever character that you want to have a van. But let's first talk about the base model. There will be a base black, which is this, as well as a base white version that Ace showed for the first time in his live stream the other day.
I'm actually showing the actual test shot, but now in white, right? What we saw in Joe Fest was black, and now I'm showing you guys in white with a bit more coloring, right? We're still testing it out, right? We're by no means the final article.
So you'll be able to pick from black or white. We'll talk about the base version first, which is the one that we have in front of us as it is outfitted right here. Now remember, this is a test shot number 1. The first test shot, it is ABS plastic, but it's not, the fine details maybe have not yet been finalized. So as you see, it is injection molded in this black color. The white one will be injection molded. The plastic will be that color. So the paint applications on these are going to be on the more detailed pieces and not in a spray of the whole thing. Hence the ability to make it more economical. We'll talk about the price point coming up at the end. And so you see what you get. It rolls fully usable van. The wheels are rubber. We will compare it to the Ramen Racer here in a bit, but if you have the Ramen Racer, you know what to expect with the wheels. Very high quality wheels, very functional. If you look at the grill, on the grill pieces, elements of that will have some paint, like some silver paint on the grill details to bring out the color of it. Not necessarily like chrome or anything like that, but silver to make it look good. There are these little indentions that you can see here. On the basic version, those will not be there. They'll have filler pieces in them. They are there because of being able to change it to the alpha version that we'll talk about. The lights themselves will be, they're not functioning lights like they are on the Ramen Racer, which is a much more expensive item. These will be kind of clear with like colored lenses, like to make them the right colors. Right now they're just all kind of the same clear pieces. So it'll look like it is a functioning light, but it'll just be the lens color. And so all the doors function. We'll open these up, see what I'm doing. All right, you've got even the sliding door functions. See if I can do that on camera. There we go. So it actually slides. It's not something that just pops off on your own. Still a lot of good detail on the inside. You can turn the steering wheel. The wheels they don't turn with the steering wheel, but they do. You can turn them. I think that the armrests they go up and down. See if you can see it on the inside. Now again, this one's a little bit loose. The other one's a little bit tight. Again, that's the nature of having a test shot. But you can adjust the armrests. That's really cool. The back opens as well. We'll open that up. And you can see there's a lot of cargo space. So maybe a cargo van is what some people may call this. You could definitely use this to move furniture around. So a lot of good functioning pieces at an economically priced item. So that base version will come in this black. It will come in the white. And it will be available not too far away. Now let's talk about the alpha version before we go any further. Oh, also, I'm sorry, in the base version, if you look in the black, I don't know what you would call this, but the lining that you find in things like this that are like kind of X's, or I think we might have diamond-shaped diamond lining, X lining, rhino lining, the types of things that you find that line vehicles will be on the floor on this, the base version. So this is what you get, a fully functioning bread car, and that is going to go up for pre-order at the end of August. So as you're watching this, about a month away, maybe a little bit underneath, a month away at the end of August. Now here's the key. They are expecting this to deliver by January. So just a few months after pre-order. And in fact, that's another thing Ace talked about on his live stream.
As the team prepares to put this up for pre-order, and then the estimated delivery date would be January of next year. Okay, so hold us to that because we're confident of meeting the delivery date. Okay, so no problem there. Again, all details will be made final once we put things up for pre-order at the end of August.
So on sale, end of August, pre-order, delivering in January. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now let's talk about the alpha version. The alpha version, alpha represents A in the English American alphabet. And I wonder what A we could be referring to with the alpha version. But the alpha version now, these are not, so as with the Ramen Racer, you get accessory packs, and we're going to start to get into these. In fact, I'll talk about them as I put them on. You've got a windshield guard. These should be magnetic. Now remember, again, this is a test shot number 1, so all the magnets aren't completely honed into place and so forth, but I think we're going to be able to get it on there. So whereas the Ramen Racer, you convert things and you put on and off the accessory kit. See if that has the magnet there. I think it does. Maybe it goes that way. Let's see. Okay, not all the magnets are tight, honed in right. So let me turn that for you. This is an accessory kit, but if you buy the alpha version, this will come on the van, including doors that are slightly different. Now, I'm not going to remove those doors because that is not, again, it's not a thing made to be interchanged. It is a thing made to be, it's going to come this way. Now, maybe some of this stuff comes off. I'm not sure. Ace will have to answer that question. But if you buy the Alpha version, you're going to have this door on it. Let's see if I can show you. And the big difference is the Alpha version has a different side view mirror. The economical version has a standard side view mirror. But then you get all these accessories on it to make it look like a different type of van. There will also be paint. So instead of just the injection plastic and then the trim pieces being painted, you're going to have an overspray to bring out the black color. You're going to have like a red stripe on the side of the van, and then up on top, the red detail paint. In the back, you will have 2 more seats available to you to use. So in the back here, instead of it being entirely cargo, there will be 2 more seats. And you'll just have more details throughout. So again, the magnetic attachments, the overspray of the paint, the overspray may not be, or the spray overall, the black spray to bring out the color, the red racing stripe type of thing, and the different doors, and that will be the Alpha version. The Alpha version. And that's what you have. Again, all of that will go up for pre-order at the end of August and will be available shipping in your hands by January. That's incredible. That's incredible turnaround. And why is that? Ace talked about it some on the on that live stream he had the other day. Rather than taking the pre-orders while this was in prototype stage, they waited until they had got to this like test shot phase. So I'm imagining production will begin almost immediately, if it has not already begun, on these pre-orders. And so production, then it comes over out the door, and there you go. So that's exciting. Now, I want to do some comparisons, but before we get to that, let's talk about the price point. The base version, so removing the attachments, the base version white, the base version in black. The early bird price, and this is the last I heard, so if this changes, I will make sure that I leave a comment about it. But the early bird price for the base black or the base white versions, $99.95. Under $100 for this big old functional thing that you can use for pictures, you can use for display, you can use to play, whatever you want to do. $99.95. And that's for the base version black, base version white. Now that is plus shipping, of course. And the shipping will be, you'll be able to see it when you go. I don't know what that will necessarily be. I do not know the price of the Alpha version. That has not been told to me yet. But if it's like most things, it'll probably be in the $40 or $50 more expensive range, something like that. But Ramen Toy can comment and let you know what the price is of the Alpha version. But the base version, $100 van. You could, and again, remember, you could get the white one. It's injected molded white plastic. You could paint it and make it be any van you want it to be. All the various vans. It could be the Punisher's van, or the Turtle van, or the van that you used to ride around with your grandma in, or whatever. You could make it be any van that you want it to be. And there's a lot of talented painters in the world that could really do something cool with an item like this. So under $100 for a 1/12 scale vehicle, I think that's absolutely fantastic. And I'll be ordering one. I will definitely be ordering one, maybe more than one, maybe all 3. Maybe the Alpha and the black and the white, because it's just a great value. So before we go, I want to show you it compared to the Ramen Racer and a few figures so you get a feel of that. All right, so here's the Ramen Racer. I've just opened this up recently and I've been playing with it. I love it. It's just fantastic. Let me get a little. Woo! Woo! You see the lights. So remember, the Ramen Racer was not in the economical vehicle category, meaning it has working lights, a lot more paint, some of that. It was a much more expensive item. But you look at these 2 items, I think they look good in scale together. With the big van and the Ramen Racer, the van being quite much taller. Again, under $100 to get this to you. So if you have the Ramen Racer, you understand the dimensions, what that looks like, and I think they scale well together, let's look at some figures. While we do that, I have a couple different things. I've got a Marvel Legend. This is Nightcrawler. I do have a custom head on him from Casting Cave. But there is a Nightcrawler with the van. Let's see, G.I. Joe Classified. I have a Storm Shadow here. Storm Shadow. So those are both Hasbro items. That should give you, if I can get them to stand up. I don't know. It's hard to do over the shoulder. I can't. I'm struggling. There we go. Give you an idea of that. I have a couple imports. I have a Goku. This is a Ultra Instinct, like right as he's about to wield it. Figure art's typically a little bit shorter. You can see that with the van. And then I have a Mezco Spider-Man 2099, kind of a relatively standard Mezco, but Mezco tends to be a little bit taller. But so there you can see some scale purposes with this van. Let me try to turn them there for you. I mean, it looks like it'll work with most any 1/12 scale figure. So let's see. If I move these out of the way, let's see. Can Goku drive this van? Let's see if Goku can get in there. That saying here from Goku was messing me up. Got Storm Shadow in the van. I am not very good at posing, but I can probably get him in there a little bit better. Because see, his hiney ain't even touching. So without even touching, you can get him in the van. So I think your standard 6-inch figures that don't have really spiky hair should work in there just fine. So hopefully that gives you an overview of the Ramen bread car. I have it back in the alpha version, which again will have these attachments, different doors, paint on it. And this is going up for pre-order not too far away. Also remember that Ramen has the Armored Vehicle series up for pre-order right now. The tanks. There's the Hunter and the Phalanx and the Amphisbena and the Bridge Layer, all up for pre-order right now. They are also on early bird pricing. A tank, a 1/12 scale, functional, all kinds of details, interchangeable parts tank, $140 is the early bird price. And for instance, with that, I pre-ordered the Amphisbena. It came out to be $190 all in, shipping, tax, whatever, to my door. So under $200 with all the other, things that you have to pay when you order something. And the early bird, that's the early bird price. The retail price of that tank will be $199.99. So all in, tax, shipping, everything, it was still even a lower cost than what the retail price would be. So that'll be the early bird pricing on the bread car. The base white, black version, under $100. I think this one will probably be somewhere in the $140, $150 range. You'll hear more from Ramen Toy about that. They do have some other things that are currently up for pre-order as well. The Aces of Aviation, they're shipping now. I think there is still available supply of that. The most recent 80s Commander weapons set is still up for pre-order. That's about to ship as well. I do think there are all three 80s Commanders and the Apache Commander still available to order. The Marshall, that tribute figure, is available to order, as well as the Great White from the Makina series. All of that stuff is on their website right now. Now, a lot of that, the early bird pricing has ended, and it's in the standard pricing. So a lot of things available on the Ramen Toy site right now. I've collected everything they've made. I have all the 80s Commanders, I have all the Silverhawks, and I have everything else on pre-order. I have the Red Gullwing, I have the Joe Fest exclusive, the Night Ops, is that what it was called? Red Gullwing. I have Master the Verse head sculpts. I've been a Ramen Toy customer since literally day one. I'm not sure if they keep a database of their customers, but I'd be interested to know. I bet I'm within the first 200 or 300 people that have ever been a customer of theirs, because I purchased the 80s Commanders right when they announced them, basically. And I'm excited for this. I have the Ramen Racer, of course. I pre-ordered the Joe Fest exclusive tan Hunter vehicle. I pre-ordered the Amphisbena. I may get all the things. I don't know. You run out of room eventually, but we'll figure it out. So the bread car, thanks to Ramen Toy for providing this, so I could give you an overview. Hopefully this helped inform your decision making. I know I don't, a lot of the things I collect are things that don't necessarily go with the van, like fantasy and sci-fi and stuff. But I did think there's probably one more item I should show for size comparisons because I didn't show a Mattel figure, and I do happen to have this. I just tried to find a Mattel figure that would, any random Mattel figure. I have this Mattel WWE Ultimates Mr. T figure right there, and I thought he'd be a decent figure to show with the alpha version of the Ramen bread car. So get your bread car at the end of August, and we will all show them off in pictures when January comes around. Thanks to you all for watching another Tuesday bonus video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you probably tomorrow. Squeeze it!